Earlier we had noted that the word ruach has multiple connotations. Most of the examples that were brought has the word ruach attached to a noun, and hence the word ruach modifies that noun. Ruach Elokim, ruach hayom, ruach chayim. When, however, the word ruach is a standalone word, not connected to another noun, we then basically have two translation options. The first, a term that refers to the neshama of the individual, the spirit that animates the physical, and two, a reference to the thoughts of the individual. Rashi rejects the neshama option for kel elokei haruchot in favor of machshava, and this would be in line with a previous reference to the word ruach used by the Chumash regarding Kalev ben Yefuneh, one of the 12 Meraglim. The Chumash informs us that God testifies about Kalev that Hayita ruach acheret immo. He had a ruach acheret, and here it would be untenable to translate the ruach as neshama, that he had a different neshama. Clearly a machshava would be the intent of the pasuk, and the use of this expression, ruach acheret, serves to justify how Kalev differed from the other 10 Meraglim, and as a consequence was permitted to remain alive to enter Eretz Canaan. So at the basic level, the ruach acheret would refer to Kalev's thoughts as opposed to the thoughts of the other 10 Meraglim. The word imo in this context is a little bit problematic, and it is for this reason that footnote 6 points us to Rashi's commentary that shtei ruchot, Kalev had two thought sets, the inner and the outer. For the outer, he seemed to align himself with the 10 Meraglim, while the ruach acheret that was imo remained internalized, aligned himself with the position of Yehoshua and Moshe. When it comes to the ruach acheret in the phrase kel elokei haruchot, the issue is less clear, but nevertheless Rashi rejects the neshama option. He does this on account of the fact that if we were to read neshama into elokei haruchot, then there would be no connection between the introductory words kel elokei haruchot and the actual petition. The fact that God creates neshamot would appear not to have any bearing whatsoever on the following petition, requesting that God limit his anger to the individual who has sinned. On the other hand, presenting a thesis that God knows the thoughts of man, we can now create a link between the introduction, kel elokei haruchot, and the petition that God should punish only those who have sinned. Rashi then proceeds to clarify this connection by drawing on the distinction between God's reckoning and man's reckoning, ein midatecha kemidat basav adam, ending with the concept that you, O God, Yodea ata mi hachoteh, you know the thoughts of man, you know who was guilty, and therefore to punish indiscriminately would be an act of injustice. In part 2 we shall be looking at the second commentary that Rashi has to this pasuk on the words ish echad, and we shall also be presenting 5 questions noted in the SICHAH on each of these 2 commentaries.